Hello there. Thank you for joining me. I have a beautiful blue landscape for you today. The name of it's the duck pond. Let's just go right to the palette and get started. Using a big brush, because I'm going to cover a lot of territory and pretty rapidly. So let's go, and first thing we're going to do is dip the brush in my thinner. Going to pull off a little puddle of my white, and to the white I'm going to add a little bit of Hansa yellow. And I'm going to start painting in the horizon with this color. It's going to give me distance in my painting. Okay, let me see if I can explain the painting to you a little bit. Here's the horizon. I know you can't see my pencil lines. I've got some sort of little helps for me here. Just a little pencil sketch for of the larger shapes. I know you can't see them, so I'll kind of guide you through it as we move along. The horizon is right through here. On a good sunny day, this is white and Hansa yellow. Believe that's enough yellow. Okay, now I'm going to have to wash my brush because I'm going to go to the blue now. This is cerulean blue and white. Everybody knows that blue and yellow turn green. We don't want that to happen, so I took a few minutes to wash my brush. Cerulean blue and white. I'm going to fill in the rest of the sky now. I'm going to start at the top of the canvas and work downward. Just kind of scrub it in, not taking any pains with it. No point in it right now. At this point in my painting, there's no point in being so methodical and so meticulous. All we're doing right now is just laying color on. Trying to stay away from the yellow though. That's important. Okay, now I'm going to add a cloud right here, and I want the sky a little bit darker behind the cloud, so I'm going to darken it with blue right out of the tube. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now I'm going to use that same blue mixture, which is a little bit darker than the biggest portion of the sky, and fill in the water down in here in the duck pond. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go to a fan brush just to save a little bit of time. I could have washed that brush, reloaded it, and used the same brush, but our time is limited here, so I'm going to the fan brush and lay a cloud in now. Remember, I left kind of a gap between my two colors, between my yellow and my blue. Now I'm going to fill that in with the white. And I already have a cloud established using the corner of the fan brush. Just kind of tapping the edges where I left the blue, where I left off with the blue rather. Okay, now I'm going to kind of scumble or scrub around the bottom of the cloud with the white into the yellow. Now see, I have not turned green. If I had not left that little area there, I would have had a great big old green cloud. That little unpainted area. Now I like that so well, I think I'm going to put a little wisp of a cloud right here. I'm just going to let it go up a little bit higher. Oh, I do like that. Soften it downward. Looks good. Okay, now while I'm working in that area, I'll stay there just a minute and I'll add some color. Little touches of color. Going to use alizarin crimson and white. Oh, look at that. Anytime you use alizarin and cerulean and yellow, you're going to get a real pretty, pleasing effect. Now I'm going to pick up a little yellow. Add a little touch of that. But see, I'm still being kind of careful with that yellow. There we go. Now, ordinarily I would use the fan brush and just go ahead and blend that in real quickly. But because I'm trying to be real careful with the yellow and the blue, I'm going to a mop brush, which is a real soft brush, and soften my cloud down a little bit. The fan brush has stiffer bristles. It'd push right down into that blue, and I would get my what? Green. Okay, now while I'm working with the mop, I'll just go ahead and blend out some of the brush strokes. And I'm telling you what, we have a pretty sky. Pretty as it can be. Okay, now I'm going to a softer brush, synthetic sable, and I'm going to use Payne's Gray, blue, cerulean blue, and white. Going to lay in some background trees. Okay, got enough cerulean, Norma, to do some good. Here we go. It's going to be kind of a soft slate blue. Got a little cabin right through here. We're going to lay in some trees around it. The reason I'm using the blue, I'm going to add a little bit more white to that now to get, look like distance. Try to help me get distance in the painting. Softer look. So just scrub right on around your house or your cabin or whatever it is you're painting. Lay your color in and then stipple upward. Be sure you keep your edges ragged. I'm going to add a little more white now and get a little more distance. And this is not turning green, and it's helping me because I'm not using real wet paint. I'm using almost a dry brush here. I load it and I kind of blot it on my paper towel and then just sort of scrub. I like that effect a whole lot. Move on across here. Now let's add some more color. Let's add a little bit of color to that. Little bit of alizarin. Get us a little pink cast. Or rose. Now look at that, isn't that beautiful? You know it is, you know it is, you know it is. Let's put us a big one here and let's see. Might want one over there. Okay, back to the left now that I've plotted and planned and I know what I'm going to do. Going to fill the one in on the left. Then I'll go over to the right. Now this is a soft brush, soft bristles. It's not a bristle brush, it's synthetic sable. Has soft bristles and you can get this soft effect with it. Okay, now back to the right. Let's catch one over in here. And stipple your top, keep your edges ragged. Okie doke, how about let's go to a bigger brush now and do some moving. Move right along. I'm going to use sap green, burnt umber, a little bit of cerulean, a lot of white. Oh, that's going to give me a real pretty color, real pretty. A little bit more burnt umber. It's a little bit brighter than I want. Burnt umber takes a little of the brightness out of it. Here we go. Okay, this is going to come, let's see, let's put a little path going down to a dock here in the front. Have you ever seen anybody paint as messy as I do? I tell you the truth, my students won't even use my brushes. One student came to class one day and she'd forgotten her brushes, and I said, well, you can use mine. She said, no, thank you. Because she'd get paint all over her hands. So she borrowed somebody else's. Okay, looking good. Let's stop now and fill the path in. How about let's use yellow ochre, a little bit of A little bit of burnt sienna for the area back in here. Okay, let's move on down and then let's blend our edges. Pull some of the green across the path. Kind of push it down in the grassy area. Let's darken it a little bit in the front with burnt umber. Go all the way across. We're going to put a dot here in just a minute. Let's get it dark enough that it'll show up. Okay, let's darken our grassy area here and get some shadows going. A few around the cabin. I think I want to cut that path down just a little bit. There you go. Okay, now let's go with the sap green, the burnt umber, the same big brush I'm using, and the side trees. That looks like it has Payne's gray in it. That's pretty. I'm going to use it. I think I'll add a touch of blue to it. Looks so good. Let's get us a big old tree over in here. And let the foliage just kind of fold on down over the path area. Not the path area, the ground area. See, what I'm doing here is underpainting some bushes and things that I'm going to put in. While I'm working in that area, I'll go ahead and put my reflection in. And soften. Let's get, okay, let me go back to the right just a minute. I'll take this over a little bit further. Using the corner of the brush to do that. Okay, now let's go back to the left and add the same thing on this side. And you're going to see how it's pushing the middle ground backwards into the distance. And I'm stippling. And I'm making treetops. Conical shaped treetops. All right, let's put one or two little bitty somethings over in here to break up some of this monotony. Just kind of nestle them down in here a little bit. Pull a shadow or two through it. Here too. Looks too dewy, doesn't it? Let's put a little dark green in front of it. Okay, now I'm going to take a few minutes and fill in the cabin, which is going to be burnt umber, white, a lot of white. Here we go. Got it now. Let's fill that in. The front of it. Let's put a little shade over here on the side. I know you're going to like that. Come on, get in there. Let's straighten it up a little bit. Okay, let's put the roof on it. Let's use a little burnt sienna, a little yellow ochre, a little bit of white, a little bit of our paint thinner. Let's add a little blue to the top, kind of a dirty blue. Pull it down into the sienna. I think we're going to need a shadow, don't you? You know we do. You have no choice there. That's one thing we have to have. While I'm working in that area, I'll go ahead and add us a door here. Darken this little shed area over in here. Touch up that roof just a little bit. Okay. Looks good. Now I'm going to nestle it with a little bit of the green. Set it down a little bit. Put a little bit around the, little bit of foliage or something around the, to hold it down. Anchor it. Okay, now I'm going to move on down and get our, oh, what do you call that thing? A little bridge across here. Burnt umber, a lot of white. Now this is so important. These strokes have to go horizontal. They cannot go up, they cannot go down. They have to go horizontal. Now I'm going to fill in this foreground area with yellow ochre and a little bit of white. Give it kind of a sandy look over in here. And darken around it a little bit. And soften it into the path area. Put a shadow under the bridge. Step right up on that bridge, go right across that water. Okay, now that I have it established, let's put the side pieces on it. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Now these have to go at a good angle. If they don't, you're in trouble again. Now go to a smaller brush. I'm going to a trusty little crooker here. A little one. See if I can get my post established. I know I can. I know I can. There we go. Okie dokie. Let's put a little sandy area over in here. Right here. That would be your yellow ochre, a little bit of burnt sienna. Little bit of white. Work it up into your green, into your shadows. Let's see, let's pull some out in the water like it's a little sandbar. Isn't that just striking? That just worked great. Sure it did, right on out into the water. Soften that little spot right there. Push it right down into the background. I think we're in good shape here. We're moving right along. Let's put some, let's kind of do this cabin up a job. Make it be so great and wonderful that you'd want to live there yourself. Oh, I like that. Let's put a little window here. A little shadow right there. I really do like that. Now let's get some, how about a tree trunk or two? And I think just for the heck of it, we could use another little something green kind of station right over in here, don't you? Yes, you do. I know you do, because we think alike. Artists think alike. So I believe you need a little something right there. So I do too. You got it, Ace. You ever thought about how many great people paint? Well, not necessarily great, great people and just famous people. And we all have something in common. Winston Churchill. Just think about having something in common with Winston Churchill. President Eisenhower. The movie stars, Tony Bennett, Tony Curtis, and my all-time favorite, old Gus on Lonesome Dove, Robert Duvall. All-time favorite. Just think about that. Me and old Robert got something in common. I love him so. Because he paints too. So that makes me just as good as he is. All right, let's put a few little highlights here and there. Brighten up this business a little bit. I was trying to let that water dry a little bit. I want to put a few little ducks in that pond. And we're going to add a few trees, but I'm going to pick off a little bit of this heavy paint over in here. It's kind of bugging me. I think I'll get a little highlight in my water too. Real quickly. For that, I think I'll just use white, and I'm not going to put it in the area that I'm going to put the ducks. All right, let's see if we can get those little scutters in here. Now I'm going to put them in with white paint. Now I'm going to tell you ahead of time. This might take 2 or 3. You may have to go over it 2 or 3 times. But I don't think so. I think it's going to work. Just don't put the heads on them yet. You notice a lot of times I paint things and I don't put the head on till the last. Because I'm going to go to a smaller brush for the little heads, little bitty heads. Okay, let's get him a little bit of a neck and a little head. Now, poor baby, his tail's too big. Let's take it down a tad. Poor baby. And his neck's a little bit thick. But I think he's looking great. Now, you usually have to go over these ducks a time or two because you're working over wet paint. And I may not have time to do the little fellas justice because I want to take just a minute and get a reflection under them or they look like they're going to fly up out of this water. We have to hold them down with the reflection. That we have no choice. And, okay, play it safe, Norma. Use your mop. There we go. Smeared that little baby. Touch him up too. I'm not going to leave that little thing like that. All right, let's get a little bit of color in the water. We're going to put some pink flowers there, so let's pull a pink reflection here and there through the water. And soften it. Now I'm going to go to a little, in class we call this a little El Cheapo. It's a good little foliage brush. I like to use it a whole lot. I'm going to use burnt umber, alizarin crimson, a little bit of white. Lay some flowers in up in here to give this painting a little bit of pizzazz. Remember I put the pink in the water. I knew that I was going to put these flowers in, so I just got a little bit ahead and went ahead and put my reflections in because I needed it. And see the pink, the pink, the pink in the water. Pulls the whole painting together. Okay, a few blue and white ones with my little El Cheapo. Few blue and white on the left side. And then I'm going to step off and see if I need to make any other adjustments. Now, I kind of ran through this hurriedly. I had a lot I wanted to show you. But it's a beautiful painting. I think we could use a few. It'll be beautiful if you'll take your time when you do it. I think it's passable right now. Let's put a few little water lines in. Okay, did you notice how I'm thinning this paint? This is so important. Your paint has to be thin when you use your script line, and that's what I'm using here. Anytime you use your script liner, you want to thin that paint. See how the water lines separate the water from the banks, and these should be broken lines. They should be straight. Now, if your water's moving at all, it can wiggle just a tad, but not much. Now, I'm going to step off and look at the painting, and I think we just about have it. I certainly have enjoyed being with you. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'll see you next week.